What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Early Access Cast. It's the first episode, and I hope you all enjoy. We've got two hosts here today. I am Samithman, and we've also got Harley McDaniels. I'm sure you've seen him. We done a video together the other day, and it was splendid. One of the best videos I've ever done, and I'm really proud of it. So go check that out. A link will be in the description. And just a little bit about this podcast. So we've been speaking about it a while now, and we've really wanted to get into doing stuff together. And this is one of the easiest ways we can do it, and also just a good way to sit down and chat about the hobby that we both love in our life. So it's pretty much we're gonna try and keep it going as long as we can, and as long as everyone enjoys it, we'll carry on doing it. So we're going to speak about firstly what we've been doing throughout like the week, how we've been being, and like just a bit of gaming here and there, and then we've got a few topics we'd like to talk about, and then pretty much that's all you're going to have to listen to our voices for. So what you been up to, Harley?
Not much really. This past week, like you said, we did do a video together, and that went well. But I've been really busy with things like school. But I started a new Skyrim and a new Fallout series, so I've been trying to get some work done on that.
How do you feel about doing series? How do you enjoy them, or is it harder than the one-off videos that seem like a piece of cake to the?
Um, Series really are more difficult just to keep them going. But I
Yeah.
enjoy doing them. But the one time gameplay videos are a lot easier to do.
It, I find that as well. I've just started my Walking Dead Survival Instinct, and I've got a good few episodes already rendered and ready to upload. And it just takes so much longer because rather than just concentrating on the gameplay and thinking I'll record this for this video, or you've got to record everything you play. You've got to make sure you've got enough space prepared, you've got enough time to render it, edit it, and it's a lot harder than you'd ever think.
Yeah, it really is. And one thing though I really like about doing the Skyrim slash Fallout one is because I don't really have to start where I left off as long as I don't leave off in the middle of a dungeon or a quest or something.
Yeah.
So if I'm just out exploring, I can pick up somewhere else, and I really like that.
Mm,
Uh,
I think that's a big good point about doing a Skyrim or Fallout video. There's so much open wilderness that you don't have to go chronologically as some of these games just lead you down one path. So if you accidentally deleted a certain chunk of the video, you would be screwed.
yeah, I can absolutely relate to that. I am doing a hard game let's play on an indie game,
Yeah.
and I didn't know it had autosave, so I quit, and I'm gonna have to cut out a lot of video because I lost a lot of progress I had to redo.
Mm.
So I can understand that definitely.
So what games you been playing this week? What any new ones into the mix?
Well, Daisy. Hopefully when you're gonna do some videos on that, that'll be really fun.
Definitely.
Um, yeah, I've done that. Been playing some Minecraft and Skyrim, but nothing much.
Mm.
I haven't been gaming as much as usual this week.
We all have them bad weeks. I downloaded Risk of Rain this week, and I gifted one to you also, so we can. Well, we're trying to be honest, guys. We're trying to do a co-op game of it, but for some reason that game makes it insanely difficult to actually get into a game together. So there's no videos of that coming up anytime soon until we get
Yeah.
some issues sorted. Which that game's, to be honest, I've put a few long hours into it, and it's pretty good. Like the actual features of the games, like it's a bit of a platformer. It's you get a bit of leveling up, you get to loot stuff, and it's quite good in that aspect. But I am finding it quite hard to unlock new characters, which which I've only unlocked one in about 5 hours gameplay. So it,
Yeah, I haven't even unlocked one yet.
no, don't worry, you'll get there. So and Daisy as well. Honestly, I anyone who hasn't got it, I would definitely say go ahead, get it, and I'll see you there. It is one of those games where your morality comes into judgment when you don't know what you're gonna do in a certain situation, and you are literally lining yourself up, and you're like, do I kill this person or not, or do I avoid this person or not? It's so much more than just a single game that I think that anyone who hasn't played it should definitely buy it, and it's worth the £20 or $30 of anyone's money.
I do. I agree with that. I played it for several hours last night. It was really good. You don't see many players because the map is the biggest map I've ever seen. Really, it's really huge.
Mm, definitely, like you learn how to traverse it, but in your first 30 hours, you were sticking to roads because if you don't do that, you'll get lost. Me being at around the 90-hour mark now, I can go through jungles and wilderness, and I kind of know where I'm gonna come out. But that's literally just from learning the map, learning where each town is and where to go round. So it's one of those games you have to dedicate a good time into. And another factor of it is every single gunfight, every single battle means something in your character's life. The amount of people that you get so proud when you've had a character for 20, 30 hours, and if you get shot, all your ammo, anything in you, the part of your body that got hit, degrades in value. So you try to stay out of the whole mix of battling if you can, but sometimes you just can't. So we're gonna go on now to the next part where we've picked a few news articles, and we're just gonna talk about them. So the first one we've got is about the Bioshock team. Now, if you read in the news that Bioshock and Bioshock Infinite, they've been gaining more press every year. They've just everything's been happening, and they've been getting bigger and better. And it all ended with Bioshock Infinite. The last installment, it was great. Everyone loved it. Now, me myself, I don't think it was the best game in the world gameplay wise, so I haven't got to the end, but I've bought it on Steam, and I'll definitely be getting to the end. And now it comes out today that they're downgrading their studio now, and they're trying to take it in a different way, and they're not. I don't know whether they're going to be releasing the same types of games, but they've laid off quite a lot of staff, and I think that's a bad thing. If you have a critically acclaimed game and studio, should you really be giving people who gave you so much a P45 and send them on the way?
I really this is really sad because I really loved BioShock Infinite, and it's sad to see or sad to hear that this is happening, and I feel for anybody who I feel sorry for anybody who loses their job, but I really don't think that they should have done that. I just, especially with the masterpiece of BioShock Infinite, because that was the only BioShock I've actually played. I didn't ever get around to the first one, to the first two. But it's just really sad to see such a great development team go down like that. And they're still on the article. It said they were trying to make more games that had better replayability and some smaller projects. And I hope they'll be good. But I really do wish they hadn't laid off all those people.
We've got a bit of information from Levine. I think he's the director of the actual studio. He says, winding down in irrational games as we know it, I'll be starting a smaller, more entrepreneurial endeavour at Take Two. That is going to mean parting ways with all but about 15 members of irrational team. There's no great way to lay people off, and our first concern is to make sure people who are leaving have as much support as they can give them during this transition. Now, as I read that, I don't read it as he is saying it, I read it as he's talking more about himself. Now, I don't know the guy, but I feel like that is more about him than the actual studio. He wants to take it in a different way, so he's the big boss man. He's gonna do it. And the with the ending part of there's no great way to lay people off. We're gonna give them as much support. I think that's just he knows the media's not gonna be happy with this, so he's just trying to cover his own back.
Yeah, I agree with that. And people have their reasons for doing things, but I think that they could have gotten along good with that many people. I do, like I said, I find it very sad that it is happening because such a great studio. But it did, reading the article, it did sound a lot like it was for him and not the good of the studio and the good of the games. I agree.
That's always a problem when there's people are putting themselves before the actual product they're shipping. So next
As
store.
I'm looking at you, EA.
Oh, shots fired. so, so the next story we've got is about the new Metal Gear Solid. Now, it's less about the actual game. It's more the whole famous 720p, 1080p, how many frames a second you're getting. And now, my viewpoint on this is the game comes first. Graphics are just graphics. That's why you see so many indie games and so many small developers make it big on Steam and PC gaming because it's all about the games. And everyone who really cares about these big, they want the best resolution, the best frame rates, the best graphics. Why don't they? All they're going to be doing is playing AAA games on the highest spec PC. That's not what it's about. Like you see through indie games which are critically acclaimed, like Gone Home, Papers, Please. It's not about the graphics or the resolution. It's all about the gameplay. So it's come out now that Metal Gear Solid, the new one that's coming out, is gonna be at 720p on the X1 and 1080p on the PS4. Now, there's been a little graphic posted on the OGM website where I got this story from, and it does show that the PS3 and the 360 are both running at 720p, but they are at 30 frames a second, where the PS4 is at 1080p, 60 frames a second, and the Xbox One's at 720p at 60 frames a second. Now, I do understand about frames. Now, you don't want to be dropping frames, and if you are going to push it to the 60 frame a second mark, you need to be steady with it. You cannot drop frame rate. That's why I think the Call of Duty franchise has had such a big intake over the last 6-7 years, because they have got it at 60 frames a second and it is not dropping. They are not letting it go. It will stay at 60 frames a second no matter how many explosions, no matter how many times people are shooting each other. It's staying there. So I do understand 60 frames a second. If you can't keep a constant 60 frames a second, drop it to 30 and just higher the resolution or whatever you want to do. But so how do you feel about the whole resolution frame rate issue? Where's your stance on it, big boy?
No, you're right. Definitely right about the graphics. How it should all be about the gameplay. I do completely agree with that. But one thing I am sort of glad that it's the PS4 that has the 1080. But I'm gonna stay away from that whole topic. That's a topic for a different time. But like you're right with the resolution. It doesn't really matter because I mean on my PC I have a decent PC, and also with the frame rate, I can't tell a difference between 30 and 60 frames. I I can tell a slight difference, but on games like Skyrim and a lot of the other big titles that I've gotten, I'm lucky to get 30. So I don't. To me, frame rate doesn't matter that much. it's definitely nice to have higher frame rate, but resolution. I do like high resolution, but not at the cost of frame rate. If they can make it run good and have high resolution, great, great. But if the resolution affects the way it runs, then tone it down a bit.
Yep,
That's how I feel.
and we're definitely not speaking at standard definition. We've had like when you used to hear about HD ready, that was maxed out at 720p, and now full HD is 1080p. So it's definitely not the fact that it's a bad thing. It's just purely the fact the PS4 is better. Now, where I've had the Xbox One and the PS4, and to be honest, I preferred my Xbox One. I really enjoyed it. I did get rid of it just so I could get a better PC than the one I was initially gonna get. But the way I see it, if you want the best graphics, if you want the best frame rate, pile your money into a PC. Put how much money you need, and you will get better than the PS4 and the Xbox One can get you combined, and that will be good for a good 4 years, 5 years. So that's the thing that gets me. If you want to go for gameplay, I would definitely choose an Xbox One with the upcoming titles like Titanfall coming out. And to be honest, I know you probably don't think this, but Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare. Now that game looks amazing. Sunset Overdrive. There's so many good games coming out for the Xbox One. And the thing about the PS4 is, I think it's the most powerful console. But what is coming out for that console that's an exclusive? The only thing that really springs to mind is Infamous Second Son, and as glad I am that I'm going to be playing that game, to be honest, I am missing out on Titanfall. Well, I'm not, I'm going to get it on PC, but I am missing out on the console version of it, so I think that it's pretty much you've chose your systems. You can go for gameplay, you can go for graphics, but just enjoy them. Who cares so much about resolution that it's gonna get you on forums going mad at developers?
Yeah, I agree. The whole console war is a bit ridiculous because I think people have lost sight of, hey, it's a game. You're supposed to enjoy it. I think people have
Definitely.
lost sight of that. I really do, and that's sad. And I'll admit, while I do favor the PS4, I'm not a fanboy or anything. I realize it has faults, and I see what you're saying. The Xbox One does have a lot better games for it. Um, but I've always been with Sony, so I'm just sort of see about it. And not that I wouldn't get an Xbox One, it's just PS4 would be first.
Yeah, definitely. Like the biggest like thing I can say is on an Xbox One and a PS4, I was gonna purchase Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and I chose to get it on PS4 because it's a better resolution. Because yes, so I did choose a PS4 for Black Flag because it looks better, but I wouldn't have mind playing it on my Xbox One. Now, the one thing I think Microsoft has over Sony is the whole achievements. I think achievements on Xbox with the whole numbers system is so much better than them trophies on PS4, because as much as I enjoy getting trophies, it doesn't give you the same feel. I feel like it's like, I don't know, having a tuna mayonnaise sandwich without the mayonnaise. It's just not the same feeling.
Yeah, I agree with that because I've never really achievement gone for like getting all the achievements for games on PlayStation, but I definitely have on Xbox. I think the whole gamer score thing really emphasizes the, the whole achievement thing, and I'm more of I like a completist. I like to get 100% on things, and you're right, it doesn't feel the same on PS3, PS4 compared to Xbox One or Xbox 360.
It's the same with Steam now. I enjoy playing games on Steam, but I wished I had a better achievement system. Like right now, I little achievements pop up. I don't even look at them to be honest. I just glance and that's it. So I think that's a big selling point for Microsoft, and I think they should push on with it because they also give you little rewards. Like if you have so much gamer score and you go do so much, you can get little like bonuses. I'm not sure what they are, but they send me an email every month and I have a little scan of it, and I don't really look at it, but I think if if people want to achievement hunt, definitely on the Xbox One, definitely.
Yeah, I
So
do. I agree with that. Mhm.
so yep. So now we're gonna just talk about what we're looking forward to, what's coming out, what in the next few weeks we're gonna be hyped for. So do you want to kick off with that, Harley?
Sure. There's not much coming out in the next few weeks that I'm too excited about. I need to check Steam and see what the coming soon things are. But I'm really excited in April for Elder Scrolls Online. That's my main thing. I really enjoyed that because I don't know if the NDA thing has been lifted yet, but
Yes,
I
it
liked the
has.
beta. Oh, okay, it has. Okay, well, the beta was really good. I enjoyed it, and I know a lot of people didn't. It did not feel like an Elder Scrolls game, but it was still the best MMO I've ever played. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think it's going to be really good.
Do you subscribe to Angry Joe on YouTube?
Oh yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. I watched some of his first impressions, then I watched his PvP video.
So I've only seen his first impressions, and wasn't happy with it, to be honest, was he?
No, he really wasn't. But I enjoyed it, and I can see why people didn't enjoy it because it is a lot different from the rest of the Elder Scrolls. But I just thought it was fun compared to like World of Warcraft and such.
Definitely, I think with an MMO, I enjoyed them. Played a bit of World of Warcraft, but the thing that takes me away from them, where I'd rather play Skyrim than Elder Scrolls Online, is there's an end game. There's a part where you actually go towards a goal rather than an open quest where it's never ending and it's more fetch quests than anything else, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know. But and you will hit that end game in Elder Scrolls Online, but there's so much more to do in it that I've heard. I actually didn't get to the PvP, and of course I didn't get far enough to the end game in the beta. But there's going to be so much more to do, like even more skill lines and the Alliance War and everything. That yeah, it won't be as open ended as Skyrim would, but I still think it would be pretty fun.
The one gripe I do have with Elder Scrolls Online is the fact that it's a full price game. It's a full price game. You're paying $60 in America.
I Yes, or I think it's like $80 to $100. I'm not sure which one for the collector's edition, which I am going to get.
And then, like, we're not spewing out facts here. It's more, I think it's around £40 in the UK, and it's so you get a month worth of free play, and then you have to subscribe, which I'm not sure about in English pounds, but I know it's $15 a month in America, which as
Yeah,
a
that's
full price game, I'm not happy about that. I don't think that you should be releasing full price games and charging people for playing them.
yeah. I see where you're coming from, and I don't. I think that either they should make it maybe like $5 a month,
Yeah.
or they should lower the actual price of the game from $60 to maybe like 40. But they really do need a monthly subscription to keep putting out all the content patches. That's one reason I don't mind paying a subscription fee to it, even though I do think it's overpriced, is because you're getting more and more content. I mean, entire new zones and stuff are going to be added, so
Mm,
you got to think about that.
I just think that. the free to play model works. Like I checked out that game you spoke about in our interview, No Loadout,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and it was awesome. And I think if it works purely, just put up microtransactions for cosmetic items, and I think for Elder Scrolls Online, cosmetic items would be amazing. You could do like, did you ever see that Sauron? I think it was a mod for Oblivion where you had a full Sauron suit from.
Yeah, I know there's a bunch of mods that do that, and I can see why you would like that, but there's nothing I hate more than armor and some of that that isn't lore friendly to the series, and it just irritates me. Like, I don't have a Skyrim mod installed right now. I have like 40 of them, and each one is lore friendly. You know,
Yeah,
I
it's
just
it's just it's a hard one to come at. We understand they need to make money, and they pretty much this is the main way they're gonna choose to do it. But I don't know. I think $15 a month is quite a lot for a full price game.
oh yeah, yeah. I think they should tone that down a bit. Like I said, like maybe like $5. But keep in mind, it's not the developers that's doing it. It's the head like suits up at Cinemax Online. They're the ones who really make all
They
of these decisions.
they make all the cash money.
Yeah, they make all the money and they just tell the developers what to do, which is sad, really. That's one reason I love the indie market is because you don't get a lot of that stuff mixed in with it.
Greatest indie game in the world, Spelunky. I'll put it out there.
I haven't played it. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to get that, but I've not played it. Um, but I think the greatest indie game in the world is Minecraft.
Oh, you've let me down there, Harley. We're gonna move swiftly on from that.
Okay, we'll move on from that. We will definitely move on from that.
So, to be honest, the main thing I'm looking forward to in the next couple of weeks, so in the months ahead at Titanfall, I can't wait to get my hands on. I didn't get into the beta on Xbox One at first, and then once I got rid of my Xbox, I got into the beta, and then I signed up too late for the beta on PC, so I've missed out, and I'm not really happy about it, but I did. But the main thing I'm looking forward to, and it sounds a bit sad, is updates on Daisy. Now, Daisy, it's early access and it's pretty buggy. A lot of people are saying it's a bit more buggy than it actually is, but they are rolling out updates weekly, and now these aren't small updates. They're introducing new guns, new clothing. They're trying to optimize the game. In one update, they actually added a new city, like a little city. It's got about 40 buildings. If you've ever played DayZ, you know that's quite a big city. So they're not introducing small little things. So I'm really excited for where they're taking it, how they're doing it, because they're trying to take it away from PvP and more PvE, and there's talk about introducing hordes of zombies, which is gonna be fantastic.
Yeah, I would have said that on there, but I didn't know how often they were putting out updates. But that is definitely one thing I'm looking forward to now that you mention it.
The thick and fast these updates, you really don't have to worry. They come out, and you can also go into experimental servers. You have to sign up for them, but you go in and you try the new stuff they're adding before they actually add it into the alpha, which
Oh,
is
that's neat.
which is like they're really user friendly. They're trying to help us help them so much, and they understand. Like sometimes they'll actually stop the actual update in the game just to optimize it if they've put too much stuff in, if they've which is good, because as it being an alpha, you'd think they're just trying to get everything in, but they're making sure we can have fun while it's in alpha, which is always great. And yes, it don't have vehicles in yet, which is a shame because I'm spending most of my time running through bushes, but it's definitely coming along nicely, and I'd implore anyone to go and have a little look.
Yeah, I can't wait till they add vehicles because like one of us, I hope they have like really hard to find or to get maybe like a few military vehicles or something. It's like you driving, I'm on a gun on top, mowing down zombie hordes. That'd
They
be pretty fun.
they have helicopters.
Oh wow.
Apparently, there's one per server, but it's fully functional. You can fly across everywhere, and if your mate's in a server with a helicopter, you can jump in and just tell him where you are, and he'll come and grab you. So
Mhm.
it's so good, and I do not want to purchase the mod because it'll stop me playing the actual game for a while, and I don't want to do that because I've put so many hours in now that it'd feel like a bit of a cheat to go to the mod.
Yeah.
So, yep, so guys, that's the show, and that's us. So I hope you enjoyed it. We had a few technical difficulties to start with, so we've had to overlay it over some gameplay. So hopefully you enjoyed the gameplay. I don't even know what it is yet, but
I don't either.
so I hope you enjoy it. And so where you can find me on YouTube. I'm the Samithman, and you probably know that if you're listening to this. And you can go onto Twitter, Samithman, and I'll be there. And you can tweet me. You can do whatever. Where can we find you, Harley?
You can find me at my YouTube channel, which is Harley McDaniel, and you can also find me at my Twitter, which is at Harley McDaniel One. I don't know why it tagged the one on it, but it did. So those is where you can find me.
That's great. So everyone, hope you like it. Give it a like, give it a little comment, maybe subscribe if you enjoy it. And if you go onto my profile, you can also see Harley McDaniel's channel, and I'll link it in the description below. So I hope you enjoyed it, guys. It's goodbye from me.
Bye.
Bye.